And I never got a chance to properly introduce myself to all the new associates. By the way, this is my family, but I was a family of one when I started this business. I was 24 years old and I had a lot of credit card debt. So I was looking for a way to have extra income coming in, but I didn't want to go get a second job because my first job was already exhausting enough as it was. I was a personal trainer. I was selling health club memberships, working at the gym, and the gym was called 24-Hour Fitness. So that means that the gym was open 24 hours. And when you're in gym management and something goes wrong, like the hot tub stops working, or, someone doesn't want to show up for their shift at 2 a.m. to clean the bathrooms. Guess who is cleaning bathrooms at 2 a.m.? So I didn't want to have to go get a second job. I wanted to find a way to have what the wealthy had. How is it that wealthy business owners are playing golf in the middle of a Tuesday afternoon? How do people afford to do that? It's because they figured out a way to have money coming in whether they're working or not. And that's when I found Legal Shield. I was looking for a passive income business, but this is a business where we actually really get to help people. And our cause and our mission is creating so much social justice. It is so beautiful what we get to do. So, but now, not only have I been able to replace my income with the Legal Shield business, but when it grew past $200,000 a year, Dave was able to leave his corporate job in technology in corporate America. And we have had 3 children together ever since, being able to be full-time parents, full-time from home. And we're so grateful. And we love traveling. So this picture depicts everything. If a picture's worth 1,000 words, we love nature. We love family time. And we love road trips and traveling. So this was Yosemite National Park in Northern California. But every day that we leave our home, who takes their kids to school in the morning? For some of you who have school-age kids, right? We get out, we go to school, we drop them off. Well, at school, I don't want you to rush and run away too fast, because standing by the gates as you're dropping off your kindergartner are other parents of kindergartners. And as you're picking up your kids from school, don't just pick them up and run. Let your kid run around with the other kids for just a few minutes and say hello to some of the other parents, because guess what those people are? They are prospects. That's right. That's right, Don Brinkley. Yes, they are people that could potentially buy Legal Shield. But more importantly, you could be a blessing to those people. Let me tell you, when we were in Lake Las Vegas, Bob, Sue, and Kevin and Linda were there when I got the phone call from a senior citizen. What had happened was one of my friends, my kids' friends, it was my kids' friend that I met at the kindergarten gate, dropping off the kindergartners together. And we met, and I eventually, we became friends, and eventually we had coffee together, and I shared with her Legal Shield. Well, when we were in Lake Las Vegas together, my phone rings, and her aunt, who's 85 years old, has been getting scam phone calls from people saying, we have a warrant out for your arrest, and there's a lien on your home, and you owe the IRS back taxes, and there's a criminal record, and you owe all this money, and you need to pay us $8,000 in Bitcoin. And guess what? She fell for it. She went out and got $8,000 in Bitcoin and paid them. And so I got this call because she said, I was referred to you by Jen, you know her through school, and she said that you do some kind of identity theft protection. Can you help me? And yes, ever since she signed up, she's become a member. Now we can't get her back the $8,000 in Bitcoin, okay, because that's not what we do. But we were able to do a full scan of her identity, her social security number, people using it to work jobs in her name, if her criminal record was clean, if people are opening lines of credit in her name, if she actually owes all the money they were saying. And we were able to do a full scan of her identity and to find out that she's actually clean and fine. But we are watching it 24/7, and she's getting a notification every single time something happens, and she feels so good. And that is what we get to do. And then guess what? After you drop the kids off, you go to the gym, or at least you should go to the gym. Raise your hand if you should go to the gym. Yes. Or take exercise, take a walk. So who is at the gym? That's right. People. And people are prospects. Now, I'm not saying to be the weird person and walk up to strangers and say, hey, you want a Legal Shield membership? Do you want a Legal Shield membership? Do you want a Legal Shield membership? No, I don't do that. I've never done that my entire career. But what I do is I do eventually bring it up to people who talk to me. So I've had people at the front desk say hello to me and how's your day? And oh, you happy today? I'm like, yeah, lots of great things to be happy about. And then I just stop and just take 1 extra minute. I'm not telling you to take an extra hour. What I'm telling you to do, you can find prospects, take extra exposures if you're willing to schedule in your planner as you're doing these errands in your life, to just take 1 extra minute to stop and say hello. And I'm like, so how's your day going? Tell me about you. What, you're always so happy too. What's your secret? And she's like, well, I exercise, of course. And I just love to, I love people and I love blah, blah, blah. And then I was like, you've got such a great personality. You've got such a great smile. We're looking for leaders on our team. Are you ever interested in making extra money part-time? And she's like, well, what is it about? I'm like, well, I'm going to go work out and I know you're working, but let me text you the details. Is it okay if I text you the details and let's chat? She goes, sure. So that's an exposure, right? Then what do? Then you go to work. Who works a full-time job or who works a job somewhere? Usually at your job, there are people, and people are prospects. No, I'm not telling you to sell to all of your people at your job. What I'm telling you to do is to network through the people that you know. So you don't have to sell your boss or you don't have to sell your coworker, but you do want to let them know what you're doing. Why? Just in case their 85-year-old aunt gets identity theft scammed and they need a solution. That's why. You want to be a blessing to people. We have this gift that we can give to people. That's why you want to share with them. Then what happens? For lunch break, you need to eat lunch and go out to lunch. Go out to lunch. Because guess what? When you go out to lunch, instead of sit there and eat a sandwich at your desk, there are, come on, say it with me, guys. Who's at the sandwich shop? There are people, and people are prospects. And I literally got a text message today from a girl who made me my Subway sandwich, my tuna Subway sandwich. I love the tuna on Subway sandwich with chipotle dressing and onions, peppers, and tomatoes and everything. For those of you who haven't had dinner yet, sorry. And anyway, she was making my sandwich, and as she was making it, I was like, you got such a great personality. In fact, everyone repeat after me. You've got such a great personality. That is my #1 go-to compliment. I say it to everybody, even if they have no personality. I've said it to an Office Depot kid who said 0 words to me, but when he was ringing me up, I said, you got a great personality. And I showed him the business and he signed up. AJ knows who I'm talking about because he's met him at one of our Legal Shield trainings before. So this girl, I said, you got a great personality. How long have you been working here? And, I've been working here for 5 years. Wow, you've been at Subway for 5 years. You must be the manager. No, I'm not the manager. I don't want to be the manager. They've got too much stress. Well, you know what? You've got great leadership skills and we're looking for leaders. Are you open to making extra money part-time? She goes, well, what is it? I said, well, let me text you the details. So I get her number and I text her the details. And then she ghosted me. She has ghosted me. But then she did pop up once and say, yeah, sure, send me the Zoom details to come to the Zoom. I sent it to her and then she didn't show up and then she ghosted me. I probably called and texted her 7 times. And I just was about to give up. I literally sent her a message the other day and called and left her a voicemail and then wrote her off. But today she texted me and she literally said, I am so sorry that I've been missing. I had to change stores. I had a problem with my manager at that Subway. I'm now at this subway down the street, so come visit me. I'm interested in looking at the opportunity now. You just don't know, okay? Don't write people off so quickly. So now what happens after work? After work, you pick up your kid and you take them to soccer, where my husband is coaching soccer right now for our 5-year-old kindergartner. And guess who's at the soccer games? Don't sit on the stands and look at your phone during the soccer games. I want you to practice putting your phone in your pocket and enjoy the game. And guess what's going to happen when you're paying attention? Not only are you paying attention to your child who is looking at you from the field, looking to see if mom and dad is paying attention to them instead of looking at their phone, but you're going to start talking to other parents. That's right. For the other parents who are not looking at their phone. And so now you're having a conversation and one thing leads to another. And now you're making an exposure. How many exposures a day do you need to do to build a life of freedom? That's right, Angela. 2. Hold them up, everybody. 2, okay? All we do is we share this business with 2 new people a day, and we do it what? Consistently. Because if you share it with 2 people today and 2 people tomorrow, but then you don't share it with anybody else for the rest of the month, you've done 4 for the month. Well, guess what? It takes 10 exposures to find 1 sign up minimum. 10, you show 10 people, 1 will sign up. You show 10 people, 1 will sign up. And people say, how come I don't have any sales this month? Well, how many people did you show this month? Did you follow up with them? And it's got to be consistent. Now, if you're brand new, I want to tell you that you might need to talk to 40 before you get your first 4. Because the law of averages need to work out for you and you need to plant your seeds. And those seeds need time to cultivate, harvest, and bloom. So as long as you're consistently planting 2 seeds every day, guess what's going to start to happen? You're going to start to have fruit every day. There was a time when I only had money coming in from Legal Shield when I was personally signing the person up. I knew when I was making money because I made the sale. And there was a time when I would help the team make a sale and I knew that money was coming in because I just helped the team make a sale. But eventually, I started to have deposits coming in, surprise deposits, when I didn't know who the sale was coming from and where this money was coming from. And that started to happen once a month. Then it started to happen twice a month. Now it happens every single day, 20 times a day. Some days, 10 sales are made, sometimes 30 sales are made, an average of at least 20 sales a day coming in. Why? Because I do my 2 and the team does their 2. What you do duplicates. That's how the secret of network marketing is, to have a lot of people doing a little bit consistently over time with a positive attitude. Guess what else is starting to happen? In the beginning, my phone never rang. In the beginning, I was the one making all the calls and the people never called me. If I wanted to make a sale, I was making the call. You hear me? Eventually, because I planted so many seeds, people started calling me. And I started to get 1 return phone call a month with someone saying, hey, I'm ready to buy that thing. Are you still doing it? And then eventually it was 1 call a week. Hey, I'm ready to buy that thing. Are you still doing it? Now my phone rings like the 85-year-old aunt who said, yeah, I was referred to you by Jen, who you met at school, and said you can help me. Several times a week, I get that phone call and sign them up. That is how this business works. It's a real business. Now, what happens when you get home and you're trying to eat dinner? A telemarketer calls you. That's right. And guess who that telemarketer is? It's no longer a pain in your butt. That telemarketer is a prospect. So I know you want to eat your dinner and it's getting cold, but just say, and your spouse is looking at you like you're taking the phone call right now. Say, hold on, just 1 minute, just 1 minute. This is a business call. They don't know it's a telemarketer. This is a business call. I just need to take it just 1 second, just 1 minute. And you listen to them, you're like, you know what? Thank you so much. You know what? You've got a great personality. Are you ever open to making extra income working from home. Sure, what is it about? I know you're on the clock right now. I don't want to get you in trouble. I'm about to sit down for dinner. Let me text you the details. I did that to someone when I was making who was calling me about to set up a Burke Williams spa appointment. He was just following up with me or whatever, because they call their customers and their clientele. And he called me from the call center and I did that and he signed up. And then we go to the grocery store and there's people there. I don't go out of my way to talk to strangers, but if you're ringing up my groceries, I am handing you my Legal Shield card. I'm saying, you know what? If I can ever be of help to you, please let me know. And I walk away. You don't always have to get their phone number. Just plant the seed. When you go to church, there's people at the church. My husband, Dave, was talking to one of the ladies manning the church bouncy house. And they got into talking and she was telling him that she spends $500 a month for her divorce lawyer just as the advice retainer. $500 a month just for advice, not the actual to do the work. And when she found out for $29 a month, she called me last week and she said, hey, I got a problem with my HOA. They keep telling me that my lawn is overgrown, but I've already mowed it and there's no proof that it ever wasn't. And, they want to charge me. And so she signed up for Legal Shield. You go to birthday parties, you go to sporting events, get out of the house when you're invited to do things. There are prospects there and you don't have to be weird, just be normal. You go to a party, you're going to naturally make friends. You're going to naturally make friends. You're going to build rapport and this is what you ask them. Oh, so what do you do for work? Everyone repeat after me. What do you do for work? And then they're going to say, oh, I'm in real estate, or I'm an engineer, or I'm a teacher. And you're going to say, that's so wonderful. Maybe ask questions about them, show interest. And then eventually they're going to ask you, because you asked them, what do you do for work? And when they say that, you're going to say, oh, well, I'm a Legal Shield representative. What's that? You could take out your phone and show them the Legal Shield app and just show them your own personal membership. We got this cool app, this purple app that I represent, and people can use lawyers anytime they need for $29 a month. Get out of town. For real, $29 a month, that's incredible. Don, Ray, and I went to go see the new Business Briefing location where we live here in Corona, California recently. And the guy that owns the art gallery that we're going to rent for our weekly Legal Shield meetings was like, so what do you guys do? I'm like, well, we're Legal Shield. He goes, well, what's Legal Shield? I'm like, well, $29 a month, and you can kind of use a lawyer anytime you need for advice. And $49 for a business owner. He goes, how do I sign up for that? That's literally what he said to me. How do I sign up for that? As Don Brinkley says, open mouth, open business. You don't open your mouth, your business is not open. Just be willing to say something to the people who talk to you. Again, I'm not going out of my way to talk to a stranger. I am just saying to people who say hello to me or make my cup of coffee or say that will be, $5.99, please. I show them. I share it with the people who share it with me. Now, let me show you this slide, and I don't know why this is why it's not showing up. Okay, and then we're going to end the call. Is that all? What did I do? Here's the formula. Okay, it's just 3 asks to getting the phone number. Number 1, compliment them. And what's the compliment? What's a great compliment? You got a great personality. That's right. Me and Don in sync. You got a great personality. And then ask them about them. You got a great personality. How long have you been working here? You've got a great personality. Where did you get that cool tie? You've got a great personality. What do you do for work? Compliment and ask them about them. And then ask if they're open to making extra money. Hey, my company's looking for great leaders like you. Are you ever open to making extra money? Or you seem like a really sharp business person. Are you open to making residual income with your own part-time business. And then they're going to ask you, what is it? Now, here's what I want you to make sure you're paying attention, okay? Everyone, eyes on the screen. If someone asks you, what is it? That's not your opportunity to go into a 5-minute pitch about Legal Shield. What is it needs to be your knee-jerk reaction to say, well, let me send you the details. I'll text it to you. What's your cell phone? Okay, so everyone, raise your right hand. When someone says, what is it? Put it in your pocket to take out your phone and pick it up and say, let me send you the details. I'll text it to you. What's your cell phone? That's all you got to do. And guess what? If you make it a habit to talking to everybody who talks to you, that comes within 3 feet of you and says hello to you, guess what's going to happen? You're going to start picking up some extra 1, 2, 3 exposures a day, which will come out to an extra 10 to 20 exposures a week. And if you're doing more exposures per month, you're going to have more signups per month. You're going to make more money in your personal sales, and you're going to be a happy camper. So that is the business. I'm excited for every single one of you. If you're ready to take it to the next level, put your hands in the air. Let me see it. Let me see it. All right. All right. Great job, everybody.